Something is asking to be born right now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now. June 14th, 2026. New moon in Gemini. 24 degrees, 3 minutes. And not just any new moon, a supermoon. The moon closer to Earth than usual. Its pull stronger. Its amplification of everything it touches more intense. This is the second of a rare series of 3 consecutive supermoons in 2026. 3 amplified new beginnings. 3 moments where the moon leans closer and says, I am listening more carefully than usual. What are you ready to plant? But before we plant anything, we need to understand the soil. Because this new moon doesn't arrive into quiet sky. It arrives into one of the most electrically charged atmospheric conditions of 2026. Uranus is in Gemini, has been since late April, will be until 2033. When a new moon falls in the same sign as Uranus, it doesn't just plant a seed, it plants a seed into electrified ground, into soil that is already vibrating with the frequency of change, disruption, and the kind of insight that arrives without warning and rewrites everything. And Uranus is not just in Gemini, it is actively squaring the lunar nodes. The south node in Pisces, the pull toward the familiar fog, the comfort of dissolving rather than deciding. The north node in Virgo, the call toward precision, service, craft. The soul asking you to get specific. Uranus in Gemini squares both simultaneously, offering a third direction that neither the past nor the expected future predicted. The fixed star Mirfak, the brightest star of Perseus, sits at 2 degrees Gemini, right where Uranus stands. Perseus, who helps, who picks up what others won't carry, who looks at what turns lesser courage to stone. That's the energy running underneath every seed planted at this new moon. The skipped step is still active. The choice is still being asked. And now, the moon arrives to say, plant your answer. There is one more voice in the sky. Venus. She moved into Leo the day before this new moon. After weeks in Cancer, conjunct Jupiter, conjunct Mercury, warm and inward and emotional. Venus steps into Leo and something shifts. The heart stops processing and starts expressing. And here is where the sky does something beautiful. Venus at 1 degree Leo is moving toward a sextile with Uranus at 2 degrees Gemini, exact the day after the new moon. A sextile is flowing energy, support, opportunity, the kind of aspect that doesn't force anything. It just opens a door and holds it. Venus sextile Uranus says, the heart is ready for something unexpected, a creative breakthrough, a connection that arrived from nowhere, a version of love or beauty or expression that you didn't plan for but recognize immediately as true. Plant that at this new moon. Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury rules this new moon, and Mercury is entering its shadow period. The retrograde hasn't started yet, that's June 29, but the degree Mercury will retrograde through is already being crossed. What this means for your intentions, don't plant what you want to announce. Plant what you want to understand. Gemini under Mercury shadow asks for depth over broadcast, for the intention that will survive being revisited, reconsidered, and returned to with new eyes. Plant for the journey, not just the destination. And quietly, in the background of all of this, Chiron sits at 29 degrees Aries, the last degree, the anaretic degree, the wound of the self at its most charged and its most ready to move on. 5 days from now, Chiron steps into Taurus. But right now, at this new moon, there is one final breath of the wound asking, have you learned what I came to teach? Plant something at this new moon that says yes. Gemini new moons are beginnings of the mind. Not the heart, not the body, the mind. How you think, how you speak, what you're willing to say out loud that you've only been saying to yourself. Gemini is the twins, the question keeper, the sign that holds 2 truths simultaneously without needing to collapse them into one. New beginnings in Gemini ask, what new way of thinking is ready to be born? What conversation have you been having only inside your head? What story about yourself are you ready to begin telling differently? with Venus freshly in Leo and sextile Uranus. Add to that, what creative expression has been waiting for permission? What part of you wants to be seen, not performed, but genuinely, fully, luminously seen? Uranus in the soil of this new moon means the seed you plant may grow in a direction you didn't anticipate. That's not a warning, that's the point. Plant something you're willing to be surprised by, something that can evolve, something that has room to become more than what you imagined when you named it. Under Mercury's shadow, plant the intention with open hands, not a demand, a direction. Now let's bring this home. Open the birth chart calculator in the description below. It's free. Find where 24 degrees Gemini falls in your chart. That's the house this new moon is seeding. That's where the intention belongs. Find the opposite house, Sagittarius. That house is being illuminated from across the axis. What you seed in Gemini will expand and reflect back through Sagittarius. Both houses are activated. Now, here is what the new moon is seeding in each. New moon in your first house. A new beginning in identity. How you show up. How others first perceive you. The mask is changing. The face beneath it wants air. Intention. I am becoming someone new and I am willing to be seen in the becoming. Second house. Your relationship with what you own and what you believe you're worth. New thoughts about value are forming. Intention. I am ready to speak a new truth about what I deserve. Third house, Gemini's home. Communication, learning, the immediate world. This new moon in your third is a full activation. Intention. I open my mind to a way of understanding I haven't been able to reach before. Fourth house, the home, the roots, the private self. New emotional foundations are being laid. Intention. I plant the seed of a home that holds who I am becoming. Fifth house, creativity, joy, self-expression, play. Venus in Leo sextile Uranus sings loudest here, a creative beginning that surprises even you. Intention, I give myself permission to create without knowing the outcome. Sixth house, the body, the daily practice, the work. Plant slowly here. The new system reveals itself over the coming weeks. Intention, I begin a practice that serves my whole self. Seventh house, relationships, partnerships, the other. A new chapter in how you connect. Uranus in the air of this intention means what begins now may look nothing like what came before. Intention, I open to connection that changes what I thought connection was. Eighth house, transformation, shared resources, what is hidden. This is a deep planting. Intention, I am ready to understand what I have been afraid to look at. Ninth house, belief, philosophy, expansion, the search for meaning. New ideas about what's true are taking root. Intention, I begin a new chapter in what I believe is possible. 10th house, career, public life, legacy, what you're building. The seeds planted here are watched. They grow in public. Intention, I take the first step toward the work I was actually born to do. 11th house, community, vision, the future, your people. Uranus rules this house. A new moon here, under Uranus's watch, is electric. Intention, I align myself with the people who are building the world I want to live in. 12th house, the unseen, the spiritual, the threshold before rebirth. What is seeded here grows in the dark. Intention, I trust what I cannot yet see to know exactly where it's going. Every house, every life territory, one moon, one night, one invitation to plant something real in electrified ground. The skipped step created the clearing. Venus in Leo opened the heart. And this supermoon, closer than usual, listening more carefully than usual, is asking you what you want to grow in the space you were brave enough to make. Subscribe to our channel right now. I post every shift as it happens, and the next one is coming before the week is out. Chiron takes its first step into Taurus, and it hasn't been there since 1983. And until then, the Lighthouse is here, not to tell you what to plant, but to hold the light steady while you find the courage to finally put the seed in the ground.